Okay, guys, so I really have a heart to help other people, whether it's my pro-life stuff and I help women keep their babies and find resources, or whether it's helping the homeless. So, I had made a lot of calls yesterday, a lot, and basically, I wanted to challenge myself too and come on over and basically see what I can do from scratch. And I had called the city welfare office, and they do have help. They said you can come in with the first month's, help with the security deposit. But there still is not enough help. We have a infrastructure that does not help people, and this is after 2 years of going to Colorado, having a housing crisis in New Hampshire, and they still haven't done enough to help other people. So, for example, I called the city of Concord, and I'm like, look, this is what I have. This is what I have left in cash. And, they're like, they asked me, what do you have left in cash? Because I'm like, hey, do you do hotel vouchers? And I'm going to be at this hotel until Saturday, but I'm like, I need something for Sunday. And then after that, I'm good. So they're like, well, how much cash do you have on you? And I'm like, I have this much. And they're like, oh, well, you're okay. You can pay for your own hotel. It's $60 over at La Hing on Fisherville Road. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You know what? I am paying for Uber, and I have to keep my cash for me. I have more money now, but at the time I only had 100. So, that's like, they wanted $60, and then they're like, oh, okay, so you can go pay for that room. And then when you come in for an appointment sometime this week, come in, and then we will make an appointment for you sometime and see if we can help you with a hotel voucher. So that's really not help, right? I'm going to come in this week. We got 3 days left, and they will make me an appointment. And, like I said, it's not a big help. So I don't know why we are not seeing more help for people. What was it? The state Supreme Court? No, the Supreme Court decided that they're going to come down on the homeless and put people in jail who are homeless. This doesn't solve anything. How are you supposed to work? Obviously you have a place to stay, but how are you going to work when you're in jail? So we need some real solutions to help people. A lot of this housing crisis is not even people's fault. It is the way the market is. It's expensive. I've looked at apartments. They're still very expensive. So I would recommend, this is me, little me, this is my opinion. Right now I have extra food from the buffet. But what I would recommend is just work your butt off, basically. That's what you're going to have to do. And luckily I'm healthy enough. I don't know what people do who are not healthy, but the jobs right now, luckily, they're up the yin-yang. They are huge. All the jobs are in New Hampshire. So, if you're in another state, I would even come to New Hampshire to get the work. So I have, compared to Colorado, where it's like, oh, we'll call for an interview, and you're waiting a couple weeks to get a call. I come to New Hampshire, and within a week and a half, I have about, 7 opportunities of jobs. So I already have 3 jobs. So I have starting next week, I have, about 63 hours there. I have about 20 with another job. I have about 30 with another job. So how am I going to sleep? I don't know. But I have it lined up carefully so that when I'm out of one job, I have another job to go to. And so you are always somewhere. And then I have a couple other plans I'll talk about. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, I'll talk about later to help people too. But it's really just getting the work and working a lot and this was my plan anyways when I got up here, to work a lot, because you're going to want to put a lot of money away. You're going to want a 6 to 12 month emergency fund for anything that comes up. I mean, even me getting to this hotel, someone took care of it for me, and you're talking about, let me see, 800, about 900 for 5 more days, plus the 500 already. That's like 1,300, just, 1,400, just, with something simple as coming up here for, like a week, and you're going to want a huge amount of an emergency fund. And so I did a video a little while ago about really, being radical in this economy. So rather than me get an apartment, and there are apartments available, there's a lot more availability actually now than when I left New Hampshire. When I left New Hampshire, I couldn't find anything. So there is availability. I did look at a lot of apartments, and I could afford one. But again, we're living in a day and age that the economy is really rough. So for me, I'm choosing not to live in an apartment right now and just save. And I know that's radical, but I'm just going to be working and sleeping in between, on the bus or wherever I am. And that way, that gives me that money to save really quick. And so I have a plan on what I'm doing with the money. And you want to be as cheap as possible right now. Also call Medicaid, which I did yesterday. Make an appointment, have them set you up. They do adults now. Last I knew, they had only helped with kids, but now it's adults. Medicaid, food stamps, get that going. When I talk to them over there, they're like, okay, so how much do you have here? And how much do you have here? And I'm like, nope, no retirement. And this is because I'm starting totally fresh. Nope, nothing here, nothing here. And the thing is, they will look at every little thing. They're like, how about your phone? How much is that? And I'm like, look, when I left here, I got a $50 credit on my phone because they messed up my phone payments. So if you're at zero, they will help you out. But even then, I did not hear, let's get you emergency food stamps. So you got to really push for stuff. And then, who else did I call? The Community Action Program. They said call Housing Stability if you want a house. So you really have to, this is such a catch-22 because you need a place. I mean, you can do it on the bus or something. But if you have a place, it's easier to do it. You've got to work at stuff. You really got to work at the phone calls and find out, what they're doing as things change, who's doing what. It looks like 211 is taking over with a lot of the resources around here. I had called them last week, and they sent me, and they'll send you a bunch of texts of who's helping where in all the shelters. So all the shelters are full right now, and what the city does is they say, okay, we're going to find shelter for you, and if we can't, then we pay for the hotel voucher. And that includes, they said, it may not even be in Concord. We may have you somewhere else in another part of the state. So again, that's not really helpful if you have work in Concord. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You're trying to get ahead. So, I would say, again, the best bet is to rely on yourself and just get the work. Because, again, you've got to, when they're trying to help you and they send you somewhere else away from where you're working and you've got jobs back to back, you're not going to be able to do it, So, rely on your own 2 feet. I would recommend camping if, worst comes to worst, just get out there and, do some camping and be in a place where, it's deep in the woods possibly. But that's what you're going to do to make it. Now, I have housing back in Colorado, and that's fine for me. A lot of people don't. I can hop on a plane, go back to Colorado anytime I want. But the work is here. And that's what I'm looking for, the work. I don't know why, but in New Hampshire, the workforce seems much stronger. everywhere you turn to, people are hiring. So there is no lack of work right now, none. Oh, and one more thing I want to say. I would say the best advice you can do in your life, the best advice I can give you is invest in yourself. So I have people on my email contacting me 24/7 almost about working for them. And it's because I have so much work skills. I mean, everyone's like, oh my goodness, we saw your resume and your work skills are amazing. Got your resume, you have a wide variety of work experience. When you do that, you can work at so many different places. A lot of people are like, oh, you don't stay at a job. Well, we're living in a day and age now where people see the skills. That's what they're looking for. It's not how long you have been somewhere. It's you've got the skills, So when you work at a place for so long and then work at another place and work at different places. And as you do this, the variety of the work skills you have will sustain you in a tough economy because you have a variety of skills. And, one place shuts down, that's okay. You've got other skills on, to hold on to. And that's my biggest advice is investing in yourself. It's going to bring you the furthest in life.